How's it going, everybody? I hope this finds you all well. I don't know how many of you in the North America here, got to experience the eclipse last week. I decided to go out and check the light, do some woodpecker photography in the eclipse light, and it was really interesting, the type of light. So I have some images I'm going to share with you. So all the images were shot on the 90D and the big dog. The big dog, 200 to 400L with a built-in 1.4. So they were shot on a monopod with a gimbal on it. And I have the data that you guys can peruse over as well. The light I found was really, really interesting. And these were all these images were captured. And there's not many. There's 3, 6, not 10 images. Right when it was very close to full eclipse, like really close, within a matter of just a few minutes. And the light was very bizarre. But what I found was it saturated the colors and almost looked gray. It was weird. It was really weird, but I found the images captured took on a tonal quality that I've never seen before. So I'm glad I did it. Anyways, let's jump over to the other screen. I'm going to start with the cheese first. Cheese is extra. Cheese is always extra. See a downy woodpecker, and he just got finished whaling on the suet. You can see underneath it. Not a tremendously great shot, and you're going to see the light, what the light was like. It was very soft, even though it was direct, and you'll see it was direct light, but it was very soft. It was like a giant softbox. It was really neat. So that's a downy. I got another downy here. Let me go back to the other one, and it's going to be, if you're on a smartphone or something, it may be difficult to see. So this was at 1/800th of a second, and this is with the 1.4 engaged, 35 millimeter equivalent of 905 millimeter. I'm rounding it to the nearest tenth, and ISO 2500. So you can tell, even though it's direct sunlight, with an ISO of 2500, it gives you can understand that the light was not that bright. It wasn't blistering. So if it wasn't in eclipse, I mean, the ISO would have been down around 2 to 400, somewhere in there. So it was lower light, but you'll see the directionality of it. It was really, really neat in the quality of it. So let's jump to the other one. This is another downy. This was at ISO 1600, same focal length, 1.4x engaged, 1/800th of a second. And aperture was 5.6. So it's basically wide open. It's another downy. Actually, that's downy. You can see that the light was coming in from the left side, up high. Another downy. Now we're getting into the good stuff. That was ISO 400. And the same 35 millimeter equivalent, I believe. 1/800th of a second, 5.6. Just zoomed out just a hair. Just a hair, so 872 millimeter equivalent. Nuthatch. This was at the woodpecker station that I have set up. And see what I mean about the light? It's weird. If this was direct sunlight, I mean, it would have been blistering. But it was still very direct. It was like a massive softbox in the sky. It was really cool. That was, let's see, about 861 millimeter equivalent. These are cropped. These are cropped. And they're gently processed. Let's jump to red belly. This is where the light gets really interesting. What it did. I mean, if you look at the colors and the saturation, it's unbelievable. It's really cool. 1/800th of a second at 5.6, 872 millimeter. Had the 1.4x engaged. I think all of these do. So let's jump to the next one. And just look at that. It's probably once in I don't know how many years I'm going to get light like that. So I was so glad I was able to actually able to capture something. And woodpeckers are pretty much my favorite, anyways. The nuthatches and woodpeckers, they're too much fun. Let's jump to the next one. That was 905 millimeter. 1/800 5.6 at ISO 320. That lens is a banger, isn't it? It's really good. And I love this shot, and I put this on Flickr, and nobody even commented on it. I love shots that show the character of the bird. Sorry about that. Choked on my coffee. Went down the wrong tube. Anyways. Yeah, great stuff. ISO 320. 800th of a second. 5.6 wide open. 905 millimeter. And this is the last one. Love this shot. It's not my favorite. This is actually my favorite, but you know, what people like is going to be different than what I like. So, I just love shots like this. They're such characters. I like shots that bring out the character of the bird, expression, stuff like that. Classic portrait shot. I'm not much into the portrait stuff, but I know people really like those. Same thing, 905 millimeter, 800th of a second, wide open, 5.6, ISO 250. Now I run the camera almost always in manual mode with the ISO on auto. So it's always on auto, pretty much. I will be doing a video. It's really hack stuff. I was just playing, but it was a good learning experience. So I got a video coming on off-camera flash with birds in flight. Very, very dark. The weather has been horrible here. It's just really dark, raining all the time. And so I figured, well, I'll grab the flash, put a plastic bag over it, a clear Ziploc bag, and fire through that and see what I can play with. Just play with some off-camera flash with birds in flight, some action stuff. Coming into purchase, that's coming next. All right, gang, 7-3. Hope this finds everybody well. Happy shooting, and we'll catch you all later. Thanks for watching.